Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing the screen, Prabhu. So are you seeing the screen or no?
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, let's do it. So we'll start from the top and I'll quickly go through. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkiripatadam Bande Shri Gurum Dintaranam Paramananda Madham Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू प्रभु सो द ब्यूटी ऑफ स्टेइंग रेगुलर is we can always keep on moving and learning. There is no end to it. So we have been discussing what exactly is the meaning of as it is commentary, right? And we saw so far we have been seeing the examples that there might be some differences, and those differences are maybe the way synonyms are presented, the word to word meanings are presented, and maybe the differences would be the way words is translated, and maybe difference in the purport, the way purports are written. But does it make as it is? So we are trying to understand what exactly are the elements that make commentary as it is, right? Like for example, I know, just to give the example that there are numerous commentary on Ramayana. Since Prabhuji, Satyanarayan Prabhuji, by the way, my father name is Satyanarayan Pandit Prabhu,
Jai,
Satyanarayan Pandit.
Jai,
So my
Jai.
father name is Satyanarayan Pandit. I am son of Satyanarayan Pandit, Ram Bhuvan Pandit. That's my name, but my initiated name is Ramacharya Das. Anyways, so my wife was saying Satyanarayan. He said yes, once she saw the screen and she said Satyanarayan is very familiar name. I said yes, it's name of my father.
My
Anyways,
grandfather gave him this name.
and Satyanarayan is basically Satya refers to, I don't know how you see, but Satya Narayan refers to Narayan, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And Satya also refers to Srimati Lakshmi Devi. Satya also refers to truthfulness. So that Lord who is always truthful, or that Lord, who's in whose service Srimati Lakshmi Devi is always engaged.
And
And
my name is
Prasad means
Prasad is a title, Prabhuji.
ah,
My surname is Prasad, so yes, that's it.
yeah, and the one who got the mercy of Satyanarayan. Right, that's nice. Very nice. So what exactly makes a commentary as it is commentary? It's very, very important. And just get it. Don't worry, about the Sanskrit verse and all of that. But since I'm going through it, I will have to cite few verses to make it more authentic for the discussion. But the point is that, or the intent is that, please get the message. That's what I'm requesting. That's what, is the main purpose we are doing everything. So here is a beautiful verse. Okay. If you have not heard about it, don't worry. This is a big verse, complex verse. But this verse is coming from Das Mula Tattva. Das means 10, Mul means original, and Tattva means element. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written a book which is written in a novel form. It's like novel in a novel format, which means The philosophy is philosophy of Krishna consciousness, but the character that are being used in that novel, they are fictitious. The names and characters are just, like you have other novels that you read. But through their discussion, the entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness is given in a story format. So if you read that book, Jaya Dharma, page to page, and understand everything that's presented there, that will be huge. That will be of huge benefit to us. That will be of huge benefit to us. So in that book, there is a section where Bhaktivinoda Thakur emphasizes this 10 element. Thus means 10, Mula means original, Tattva. So there he gives this verse, and this verse basically has 10 elements. If you had opportunity to read, or if you have been reading Back to Godhead magazine, I think year or 2 years back, there was one article in Back to Godhead magazine written by Vishakha Devi Dasi, and she had written about this 10 Mula Tattva. So this is very, very famous verse, maybe not at this stage, but this verse will give us idea what are the 10 principal elements. Okay, so let's read this verse. This is, it goes like that. Amanya prahatatvam harimiha pramanam sarva shaktim rasavadim तत्भिनामं सा जीवान् प्रकृति कवलितं तद् विमुक्तं च भवाद् भेदा अभेद प्रकाशं सकलमपि हरे साधनं सुधा भक्तिं साधयं तत्प्रीतिम् एवेति पादिशति जानान् गुरुचन्द्रः स्वयं सः. So अमान्य प्रहतत्वं हरिमिह प्रमाणं सर्वशक्तिं रसावधिं तत्भीमंशं सजीवान् प्रकृति कवलितं तद्विमुक्तं च भवाद् भेदाभेद प्रकाशं शकलं चपि हरे साधनं सुधा भक्तिं साधयं तत्प्रीतिम् एवेति उपदिशति जनना गौरचन्द्रः स्वयं सः. So this verse gives 10 principal elements. Amnaya. Amnaya means Veda, Vedic knowledge, such as 4 Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam, or Valmiki Ramayana. These are Vedic knowledge. So Amanaya Prahtatvam Harim Iha Pramanam. So the real pramana, the real source of knowledge is Veda. The real source of knowledge is Veda. And what Veda is confirming? Who is the absolute truth? So Veda is confirming the absolute truth. And who is absolute truth? Sarvasaktiman, the most powerful person. So Veda talks about that absolute truth, who is most powerful. And Rasa Avadhim, Avadhi means ocean. Rasa Avadhim, he is ocean of all the Russia, any Russia, he reciprocate in every Russia. An example is given that when Krishna and Balram was presented in front of Kamsa to fight with Chanura and Mustika. So there was fight that has to happen, and young Krishna and Balram were presented there in front of Chanura and Mustika, who were like looking giant and so strong. And there were people in the assembly or in that, arena where the fighting had to happen. And they were looking at Krishna. So Acharya says that everybody saw Krishna differently, and Krishna did reciprocation with them differently. So Kamsa saw Krishna as a fear personification, as a person who is cause of death. On the other hand, Yashoda Mata saw Krishna as her, young, loving, tender son. Gopi saw Krishna as object of their love, and Gopal saw Krishna as their friend. So Krishna at the same time did reciprocation in that mellow to all of these. Tulsidas, since we are talking about Ramayana, Tulsidas in Ramayana writes, Jina ki ho vahi bhavana aisi. Hari मूलत तन देखें वैसे. जीना की हो वही भावना जैसी, हरि मूरत तिन्ह देखें वैसी. So whatever bhavana, whatever emotion one has for Krishna, Krishna appeared to that person in that way. Brahmameti Pramameti Bhagwanati Sabdate. When Brahmanwadi approach Krishna, Krishna appears to him or them as Brahman. When Paramatmavadi appears, he appears. They find Krishna as Paramatma, residing in the heart of all living being. And when devotee approaches to Krishna, he appears as Bhagwan. So Rasa Avadim Amanaya Parahatattvam Harimiha Paramam Sarva Shaktim Rasavadim. He is ocean of, mercy, ocean of all the Rashas. Tad Bhinamamshams Cha Jivan. And living beings are his Dhinamsa, separated energy. The living beings are his energy, but they are separated. Prakritim Kavilitam Tad Vimuktas. And out of that living being, there are some who are liberated, and Cha Bhavad, there are some who are bound. So Krishna said that there are two types of living being, divine quality and demoniac quality. Jiva hoye dvere prakar, eka nitya mukta, eka nitya badha. One is always bound, badha, and the second one is mukta, always liberated. Nitya siddha, we call it. Nitya siddhas are the devotees who are always liberated, and nitya badhas are always bound. How they are bound? They are bound by their desires. They are bound by material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Asa, pas, satar, badhai. Asa, pasha. Pasha means network. By they are bound by thousands, a network of desire. So this Badh Jiva is there. So that's what we are basically seeing here, that there are Mukta Jiva and there are liberated Jiva. So please note down, very important. Amanaya, Amanaya, Veda are absolute truth. Vedas are the source of knowledge. Sorry, not absolute truth. Vedas are source of the knowledge. That Vedic knowledge proves that Hari is the Paramam. Hari is the absolute truth. Lord Krishna is the absolute truth. And he is Sarvasaktiman. And he is ocean of all the rasa. He has his energies, and living beings are his Tadbhiman Amsha. Living beings are part and parcel, his fragmented energy. And the living beings have two categories. One is liberated, ever liberated, and second one is ever bound. Okay. Bheda abhed prakasam sakalam api. And what is the philosophy? What is our philosophy? Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. This is a little hard, little heavy, but we have to, at least, it will give you a good background. So Bhed Abhed means simultaneously oneness and difference. So Prabhupada has said in his commentary that living beings are one with Krishna in quality, but quantitatively they are different than Krishna. Oh, Samya Mataji, Hare Krishna, I just see you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Haribol, welcome back. She's one of the topper. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. I think you should, this is good time. You should be part of this discussion, Mataji. It will help you before we start studying the next book. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
sure, Prabhu. Thank
Bhed
you.
Abhed Prakasham. This philosophy of, what is our philosophy? We are follower of Brahma, the Gauriya Sampradaya, but our real philosophy, Mahaprabhu gave Achinta Veda Veda Tattva. Achintya means inconceivable, oneness and difference. It's one, not like the Brahman type of one where everything merges into the Krishna. No, oneness in quality. But Abhed is different in quantity. An example is given that if you take a drop of water and do the chemical analysis, you'll find same ingredient or element, hydrogen and oxygen, as you find in the ocean of water. So quantity is different, but quality is the same. So Bheda Bhed Prakasam Sakalam Api. Hare Sadhanam. Sadhanam Shuddha Bhakti. So what is Sadhanam? Sadhana Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti that leads to Shuddha Bhakti. Sadhana. Like right now we are studying Bhakti Shastri. It's sadhana. We are doing sadhana. We are getting the knowledge, and that knowledge will help to invoke devotional service towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Hare Sadhanam Shuddh Bhakti. Engaging in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sadhyam Tat Pritim. And what is the goal? What is the goal of that sadhana? Tat Pritim. Krishna Prem Pum Artho Mahan. Pum means living being. Arth means objective. So what is the Mahan, topmost objective of the living entity? Krishna Prem. Love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so what are the 10 elements that comprise a commentary as it is given here? As a Praman, Veda. Veda has to say the truth. Okay, and then that Praman, which is source of knowledge, will be used to prove object of the knowledge, which is called Prameya. Prameya. In math, you would have studied in 10th class, Pramey, right? You use axiom truth. There are some axiom truths. You use those axiom truths, which is already proven, and prove Prameya. So, Veda is Amnaya, means Veda. Veda is Praman. And what is to be proven? What is to be proven? Hari is the supreme absolute truth, who is source of all the power, and he is ocean of all the Rasha, all the Melus. So that's supreme personality of Godhead, who is all powerful and source of all the Melo, has living being as his fragmented energy, who are of liberated type and bound type, and goal is to engage in his devotional service by following the teaching that is presented through Veda Tattva to obtain the pure love. That's how these words can be framed. Okay, if you put all of these 10 elements together, that's how you would say Vedas are Praman, which are proving Hari as the absolute truth, who is source of all the power and all the melos, and both liberated and bound living beings are his fragmented part and partial, who are engaged in his devotional service to obtain the pure, unalloyed devotion towards Krishna. So what is as it is? You got the hint here. Not the word by word meaning, not the particular translation, not the particular purport. But as long as that word by word meaning and that purport and that translation is talking about these 10 things, there as it is. So word by word meaning might be different. Translation might be different. Purport might be different. But it's presented for sadhaka to understand that they are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are in a bound state. They have to engage in the bhakti process of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Sarvashaktiman, who is ocean of all the Rasa, to awaken their lost consciousness and come to the stage of pure bhakti. As long as this subject is addressed as it is. So in a very loose wording, somebody will ask, what is as it is? And then the answer is exactly saying what Krishna has said. Not adding, not subtracting, not giving our own interpretation, you know, uh, this means that, this means that, one Atma Shabd has multiple meaning. Atma means body, Atma means soul, Atma, Atmanayva, Atma means mind also, Atma means senses also, you know. So what is that Atma in a particular context? We don't try to give the meaning. And when we have some discussions, when, this morning we had Bhagavad Gita class, and question come, can I take the meaning like that? Can I take the meaning like that? No. I talked about that a little bit last week also. We should not be giving our own meaning. Then it will create more confusion. We should take the meaning that is given to us by acharyas. Okay. So as long as purport, synonyms, translation address these items, these 10 items, it has to be, the knowledge has to come from Veda, not from the novel. No. First element is it has to come Amnaya. It has to come from Veda. Oh, I read, Newton's law of physics. And it says that every action has equal and opposite reaction. Rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force of light. Second law of, physics. That gives a lot of, concept, energy and all of that. So we cannot, this action and reaction concept or something that is in physics or chemistry, which is not part of the Veda, take that and then try to understand something that is part of the Veda. Right? No, we have to understand Veda or absolute truth in reference to the teaching that is presented in Veda, not from other, sources. So our Praman has to be right. Okay, that's why it says bona fide. What is bona fide? Or Praman. We have to be part of the bona fide lineage. Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, like that we say, right? So there are 4 Sampradaya coming from 4 Kumaras, coming from Lord Brahma, coming from Srimati Lakshmi Devi, right? And coming from Lord Shiva. So Rudra Sampradaya is there, Sri Sampradaya is there, Brahm Sampradaya is there, and then Kumar Sampradaya is there. These are the Sampradaya is coming from that Sampradaya. Now, there might be some there might be some differences the way knowledge is presented in particular Sampradaya, because it all has their own purpose, right? But if you are follower of Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya, and then you try to understand certain concept and take the help of some other Sampradaya, oh, here it says like this. Why it's saying like this? Yes, it's Veda. This Veda is Praman also, but the mood is a little different. The objective is a little different. Okay. So, but it's, it's not talking the different absolute truth. Ramanujacharya also taught about Vishnu being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are also saying that Vishnu is Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form as Krishna. So Krishna is the absolute personality of Godhead. So some of this absolute truth has to be confirmed by Vedas. Okay, we don't concoct, we don't conclude, because I know Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not sufficient to conclude the meaning of a particular verse. It's sufficient, it's there, but there is Anvaya, there is Bhavartha. What exactly is the meaning? So I would like to stop here before I get into the next slide. And I would like to see if it's clear so far. Did I try to explain what I'm trying to say? Are you clear or no? That's the thing I would like to ask. Is it clear what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhu.
Not 100% for me, but I'll go. Um, and it's some words and all. It's not.
No. So let's make it clear. Why? What is not 100% clear here? Let's read this one and then I'll come back to you. Okay.
Okay.
So we are just seeing the meaning that I just said. The Veda, known as the Shruti and the Smriti scriptures, for example, the Srimad Bhagavatam, which are fully in line with the Shruti, are essentially transcendental and are thus presented as the Pramana, proof and evidence. So Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the proof. What Srimad Bhagavatam is saying? Yate chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vidyanti Juge Juge. Oh my dear Lord Krishna, Yate chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Param Bhagwan is Sri Krishna. So whatever Shastras are concluding, Srimad Bhagavatam is concluding, that is what we have to go with. The directly perceivable truths propounded and evidenced by the Pramana are designated as Prameya. Okay, so the Pramana are the source of knowledge and object of knowledge is Prameya. We are using the knowledge to get to the goal. 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. If you mix it, you'll get water. So water is Prameya. And knowledge of having addition of 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, that is, presented in Veda. So there are 10 tattva. Out of that 10 tattva, one is Praman, which is Amanaya Veda. Veda is Praman. And Vedic knowledge proves this 9 Prameya, this 9 object of knowledge. So what are those? Param Tattva. Sri Hari is the Supreme Personality of Absolute Truth, Sri Hari. So let's see that one. Okay. Sarvasaktiman, he is omnipotent. Akhilasamrita Sindhu, he is the source and ocean of unlimited nectarian mellow. Vibhinamsas Tattvas, the entire range of liberated and conditioned jivas are Sri Hari, eternally separated part and parcel. It's Jiva Shakti. So living beings are a Jiva Shakti. But the Jiva, the conditioned Jiva is infected by Maya. Mukta Jiva, we talked about that. Liberated Jiva is free from Maya. Achinta Veda Tattva, all creation, either material or spiritual, is a manifestation of Sri Hari, inconceivable potency, which is simultaneously different and non-different from the Lord himself. And I gave the example of, I'm just reading through it. I think I have given you the example of this very clearly. And then Shuddha Bhakti. Bhakti is the only sadhana. Prabhupada in his commentary, emphasize this part, right? Sadhana, bhakti. So bhakti is sadhana. And what is the goal of that sadhana? Krishna Priti, Krishna Prema is the ultimate object. Sadhana is done for sadhya. Some of these terms are new, but if you are writing, making note, if you are really seriously hearing this class, then you will understand and make notes and okay, sadhana is means, method, process, right? Abhidhaya. And Pariyojana is goal. What is the goal? Krishna Prem, love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you really look at our scripture, reading the purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, or if you have read the purport of That's why Prabhupada is talking. He's saying that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Sarvasaktiman. He is ocean of all the male laws. Living beings are his part and parcel. Mamayansa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Manasastani Idrani. Prakriti Sastani Karsati. And they are suffering in the material world. But Krishna is saying that they are part and parcel. Then he says in 16th chapter that there are two types of living being. Doere Prakar. Eka Nitya Baddha Eka. Nitya Mukta. One is always eternally bound and one is always eternally liberated. And the philosophy that we are teaching, Achinta Ved Tattva, we have to engage in sadhana bhakti, and goal is to Krishna Prema Pumartho Mahan. Goal is to obtain the pure love of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you really look at the purport of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, these are the subject that is being talked. Maybe the way it's being written, the way it's being presented, and we went through some of this example here. Same thing. Now, if you come back and go through it, same thing would be said in different framework to make it more relevant. Same thing, but then the example can switch. This example, that example, depending on what is the need, how the people of that particular age can understand it. Emphasis is always pure devotional service. Please engage in devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead and purify, your life. So you can see some of these example here that says that presentation may appear a little bit different, but as long as these 10 subjects are being addressed, it's as it is. Okay, it's bona fide. What does it mean? As it is, it's bona fide. It's very bona fide for you and I to take shelter. Take that knowledge and act upon it. With that, I'm not going to go too far on this one. So Narayan Prabhu, I wanted to give you opportunity to go through this and then see. Bhaskar Prabhu said that it's clear to him. I appreciate Prabhu. Thank you. Samya Mataji, is it clear for you so far or no? What we are talking?
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhu, like, I'm clear at this time.
Okay. Okay. So, Satyanarayana Prabhu, what is, and don't hesitate. Please tell me, where is the confusion?
No, the term Prabhuji, so kind of the Sanskrit words and all. I think
Yeah, no, that's not. I humbly requested, and I'm requesting, please don't get hang on the word and English translation. The essence at this point. In the very beginning of this class, I said that this might be little too much at this stage as a first class, but we have to do it to set the right framework so that when you read the translations, you might have access to on the internet now. There are so many things, at our fingertips. You read something, Prabhupada is saying for one of the verse of Bhagavad Gita, and then you find something else somebody is saying, and then you're getting confused. Or maybe you'll find some differences, the way Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying for your exams when you are preparing versus Prabhupada is saying, versus Baldev Vidyasan is saying. You'll see some differences. So my intent here at this point is to help you understand that as long as these items are being addressed there, you should not think that is different. That's what we are saying here. That so what exactly is as it is in an as it is commentary, if the word to word meaning is different, or translation of the verse is given is different, or even the purport that's given is different. And we saw this example here. That's Shreyohi Jnanam Abhyasat Jnana Dhyanam Vishishyate Dhyanat karmaphala tyagat shantirantaram. We saw that the same verse, there are different translations given by Srila Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan. Are they saying the different thing? No. No, they are saying the same thing. They are talking about these 10 principal truths. The word is a little different. The way it's being said is different, but it's all saying this same truth. That's why thus the 10 Mool original Tattva truth. These are the 10 original truth, and that is being spoken maybe in different way. So yes, Rasavdim and Shabhavad, and that's not the point that I'm really trying to emphasize. The Sanskrit word, that's not the intent. Intent is the meaning behind it. What exactly it's telling, the broader picture. And that's what we have to get at this point, not the details of it, just the kind of, summary. Okay, now I understand what is as it is. Prabhu, as it is the one that's coming from Veda. That's number 1 point. Something that's proving the absolute position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's how I got it. A statement that proves or says that Krishna is omnipotent. Krishna is the ocean of all the Melo. These are the subject being addressed. Okay, these are the 10 elements. Living beings are part and parcel. Some living beings are eternally free. Some are, bound. They have to take the process of bhakti to revive their original consciousness and obtain the unalloyed devotion for Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so Satyanarayana Prabhu, now where we are.
No, not clear, Prabhuji. The intent, I just said, Prabhuji. So the kind of the words could be different, but I was going through the words and word and try to understand. But now, since you talked about overall, now it's clear, Prabhuji.
Clear, Prabhu? Yes, so intent is at this point very, very important. Where we are, basically going, what is exactly is being talked. The framework could be different, but these are the subject that's being addressed. Okay, so Sumya Mataji, that's what we have been talking. We have been trying to basically very nicely through multiple examples. So all you are seeing in the slides here, these are just the examples. We cited this verse that says that Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasraya Prati Sloke Prati Akshare Nana Arthakaya. This is very simple verse, but this is extremely important. If you hear to a speaker, Ramacharya Prabhu, you said things like this, and Bhaskar Prabhu is saying things like little different. Well, Bhaskar Prabhu has his own way of expression. I have my own way of expression. But as long as both of us are saying the same thing in different way of expression, we are okay. So Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasraya. Srimad Bhagavatam is like Lord Himself. And it's shelter. As Sarvasraya, it's shelter of everything. But what is happening with that shelter? Prati Sloke, every verse, Prati Akshare, every word could have different meaning. Okay, but these meanings, as long as talks about this 10 thing, these 10 things is as it is. So now I have a question for you. The same, take one of the verse, and in the purport, the person who is making commentary, in that commentary, he is proving that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we are his energy. We are lost, but doing bhakti of Krishna, we can, by doing bhakti of Lord Shiva, we can finally merge into him. We become Lord Shiva. Something similar, Bhaskar Prabhu made comment last class. He said, can I trust that XYZ person who says that we all can go in a living body and be the residents of Kailash, an associate of Lord Shiva? Is that as it is teaching or no? Question to Satyanarayana Prabhu. Is it as it is teaching or not?
I mean, to me, it looks like no, Prabhuji.
My question is clear, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
It's not as it is teaching. That's the right answer. Now, can you please help us understand why it's not as it is teaching? Or let's hear from Sumya Mataji. Sumya Mataji, why it's not as it is teaching? Somebody is saying that, Lord Shiva is absolute truth, and by his bhakti, we can make our life perfected.
Yeah, Prabhu. So we take Srimad Bhagavatam as like the source of truth, as like one of the source of truth, and in that it is there that Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda. No, sorry. In
Yeah.
that Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. So it is like Krishna who is like the supreme.
Exactly. So,
Even from Brahma
so
Samhita we
it's
get that.
right. So it doesn't, yeah. So Veda, right? So it doesn't basically comply with these 10 tattva. Or somebody says that, absolute truth is Brahman. Just even, take hair, make it a little bit more tighter. Somebody will say that absolute truth is Brahman. I had somebody told me, God is nothing but light. Bhagwan is light. So meditate on the light and your light will awaken. Then you'll become Bhagwan. Sorry, I've heard this philosophy. Somebody was trying to teach me this philosophy. That look at the light, that's, Bhagwan. Then meditate on that light, then your light will awaken and you will become Bhagwan. But now that's what it's saying here. It says that Hari Miha Paramam. Hari is Paramam, is absolute truth. Absolute truth is Hari. So, yes, this guideline, these 10 elements, we'll talk next week here in a little bit, in deeper way. But these 10 truths we have to remember. Or we have, you can take the picture of this screen and remember what are the things that makes any commentary as it is commentary, which are coming from this verse. Okay, is clear? Everything is clear so far?
So Prabhu, one has to read the entire commentary to see whether it complies with these 10 Mula Tattvas.
So which is entire commentary? What exactly you mean by what is that?
Like how do I know like a commentary complies with these principles?
That's a good point. How you know that? By reading, but not one purport or not one commentary may have all of these 10 elements. So we don't have to basically, read one of the purport and then see, okay, it's coming from Veda, that's true. You're talking number item 2, at the Hari Supreme Personality of Godhead, is talking about Sarvasaktiman. It's not that all the 10 elements will be in one verse, right?
Yes.
But series of overall teaching, overall instructions, overall message that will come out must address these 10 items. So your question was that how you would know that it's addressing this. That's the reason even it's a little tough, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now so that when you read the translation and purport, you would know that these subjects are being talked or not. So when you are reading a purport, you are taking a Bhagavad Gita commentary by somewhere else. And when you are going through that, just by keeping this in back of your mind, you would know that I should not read this commentary. Why? Because it's saying that, many people say that when Krishna is saying aham, the Paramatmavadi will say the person is there, but who is aham? Somebody inside him. So they'll say he's talking about Paramatma. That's what Paramatmavadi will say. And Brahmanavadi will say that Brahman to teach Arjun has taken the form of a person. So this aham is referring to that Brahman. So you'll hear this type of explanation since you asked Mataji this question. As soon as you see this type of discrepancy, talking about absolute truth is Brahman, absolute truth has Brahman and Paramatma as truth, but ultimate truth is Param Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. A person who has a form, who is Sachidananda. So how you would know that? Having this knowledge in back of your mind, that is this purport is directing me and telling that Indra is absolute truth, or is it saying that Krishna is absolute truth? If you say that Krishna is absolute truth, then I'll read it. I'll see what it's saying. But if I see that there are other contradictions which are not aligning, like Achinta Veda Ved Tattva, right? This is core philosophy that Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya we are following, right? So I many times get criticized. Why? Because I very staunchly and very strongly try to promote the teaching that is presented by our Acharya. I don't like deviating. I don't like pulling things from here, pulling things from there, pulling things from here. Why? Because of that. Achinta Veda Ved Tattva. Something superficially may sound similar, but it might not be similar when you go 2 or 3 layers down. So what are the layers that you have to use these criteria? Are they are singing some song? Song has good intent, good meaning, but where they are taking, where it's taking, what ultimately it's giving me is giving me something that I want to strengthen. If not, then why should I go after that? Our acharyas have said very clearly, and if you can listen carefully, and I might be repeating this thing again and again in future classes too. The mantra that one chant, the mantra that one chant, the book that one read, the worship that one does, the holy places that one go, sadham, food that one eat, all of these things should enhance only one thing, and that is devotional service towards Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan Sri Hari. Now, it might take some time, what I'm saying, to understand. But if all of these are adding, value, then you are receiving more. Is that right or wrong? If anything that you add, and that is addition on what you have on top of everything, then you are piling up very quickly, and you are advancing more, because everything that you are doing is adding, is additional, is adding to your mood and your advancement. So devotee advance much faster if you stick with one teaching and be chesty and do everything that is going to enhance that mood. Your development will be fast. But if you try to understand, staying in Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya, try to understand the teaching of somebody else, try to understand teaching of somebody else, and you see that, I'm very wide, I'm very open, I accommodate everything, I'm very nice to everybody, but you are not being nice of yourself. You are not doing the right thing that you should be doing. That's not how our acharyas have taught us. They have told us that no, ek sadhe sarva sab jaye. Have you heard? We focused on one type of philosophy, achinta veda tattva. Understand that. By understanding this one philosophy, you would be able to understand everybody else's philosophy. You don't have to Krishna bhakti kaile sarvakar siddhyaya. Sardha sabda vishwas drir nishchaya. Charitamrita says, Krishna bhakti kaile sarvakar siddhyaya. It's not one-sidedness. Don't think that is narrowest. No, it's intensity. It's intensity on one's path to progress faster. It's not being narrow. Prabhupada was very open. Prabhupada had respect for all other followers, everybody else. We have same Bhagwan, Krishna. We have to understand that. We are not understanding Krishna, and we are trying to understand Jesus Christ. We are trying to understand Allah. Why? Understand. And once you understand Krishna in that process, you'll be awakened, you'll be enlightened, you'll have that knowledge so that you can understand who the Jesus Christ is and who Shiva is and who Ganesh is. Everything else will be understood. Prabhupada very nicely understood everything, and he gave proper respect to everything. So that advancement will come when you are very focused, very, very focused. So purpose of this, as it is commentary, is also to help you understand that distraction has to be cut. And if the distractions are cut, if you are more focused, you will release more. You will like it more. Your doubts will go very quickly. And you will see the value of being Krishna conscious. I have heard devotees staying 15, 20 years in the movement, but very weak, not very firm faith, not quick advancement. They didn't advance. Why? Because they did not give priority to the chanting. Anything I can chant, anything I can read, anywhere I can go. Then how it's going to happen? Okay. Is it clear so far? Was it clear what I was saying or no? Satyanand Prabhu, was it clear? Or is there some question around it? Huh?
It's clear, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah. So you might say that why you are asking me to do this? My dear devotees, you will have to do it. If you do not do it, then you are lagging. If you are not doing it, then your faith will be weak. You are not progressing. You will be not feeling enlightened. You'll be not feeling the force. Why? Because these doubts are there. Thinking Ram is different than Krishna. This type of or thinking that any other form of Vishnu is different than Krishna. People struggle. Should I consider Vishnu as Supreme Personality of Godhead, or should I consider Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead? Take this out. That type of doubt should go away very quickly. If you have taken the shelter of Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya, and his teaching is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, consider that, work on it, see what else you need to form that. And you will understand who the Vishnu is. Vishnu is no one but Krishna himself. So that's what this alignment has to happen. This das mula tattva, is giving that alignment, giving a more, giving more focus, more focused approach so that we can proceed faster. And on the rail, train moves very quickly. Why? Path is defined. Path is defined, goal is defined. All you have to do is run. You are running in the right direction, you are running on the right track, you will quickly reach. So we have to see that way. I'm not biased towards any process. I have not, it's not somebody's paying me to do certain thing, but acharyas have taught us in a specific way that this is how it will be very quick for you. Birth after birth, birth after birth, we are conditioned. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. We have been going through life and life and life and life, and we have again this life. Why? In the previous life, we were distracted, my dear devotees. And that distraction gave us something, but didn't meet to the goal. We are here means we have not met the goal. So now I'm talking about making that goal. Let's make this life our last life. And how it will happen? When we know our domain in mathematical, y is function of x. So all the values that x takes is called domain, right? So what is our domain? And that value of x in a particular relationship gives the y, which is the result, right? So know the domain. And in that domain, if we play, then we'll have the ultimate goal. Krishna, Prem, Pumartho Mahan. Sadhyam, Tat Pritim. The love for Krishna has to awaken. So, is it clear? The concept is clear. Are you understanding the domain that, or the subject that is being delivered here? Soumya Mataji, is it clear what is being spoken?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. So these things we have to pay attention to. Okay, very, very important. Not because we are being biased in this and no. If you advance in bhakti process, you will be the Krishna is saying, in Bhagavad Gita, you'll be samdarsita, you'll have love for all living being, you'll have tolerant, you'll have control over the anger, all of that quality. Nothing is going, in a wrong way. Everything is going in right direction. You'll be humble, submissive, always hankering. Your heart will be melting in love of Krishna. Where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? But how that day will come? When we focus. When we focus. And how we focus it, we have to know what are my areas. I'm not going beyond this window. I'll stay in this window. Let me practice. And once you become enlightened, then you can understand. And in the process, Saraguna Samahite, all the quality slowly and slowly will manifest and things will become clear as it is. So that's the point being driven. That's the point that I'm trying to get to before we start studying our core writings, because these things have to run in our back of mind. Okay, I'm trying to understand the different anga bhakti, because by doing this, I'll come to the pariyojana, the ultimate goal, which is love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's 2:08. I would like to adjourn here. And I think some of this discussion I will have to repeat next week also, at least this slide with the devotees who are not here, but I'll be quick. So you have the benefit that you got enough time to go through this with some good examples, and we'll get into the next discussion, next class. But I would like to really take sufficient time to set up this foundation, so that we are aligned and in future we are tuned with the subject that we are going to discuss. Okay, with that I would like to stop here. I can take one question or one comment if anybody has. If not, then we can finish, but I'll just wait.
Only one question. So this material that we can access, Prabhuji.
So everything is basically live on YouTube. I have a channel that I have created for Bhakti Shastri. Nothing else there. Nothing else. You know, some of them have only 5 view, 10 view. I don't care. Some of them have 0 views. I don't care. But you know, that's there. You have presentation there. You have discussion there. Everything is there on that channel. It's called Institute for Ultimate Good, which is basically talking about Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, ISKCON Disciple course that I do, and all the classes that I do. I just do the live recording and it's posted there. So I'll post the link in the chat room, and everything is there, Prabhuji. All the classes, any verse, anything that is being cited here, you can go and get it from there. Okay, Prabhuji. So if there is nothing, let us adjourn here. Yeah. I'll send you the link, Prabhu, okay?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Is it helping? Is it helping? Is it helping or?
It's really helping, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yes, please, pay attention to it. It will really help you. That's how I have learned, and that's how, we have to learn and send that, share the teaching with others too. Thank you so much. Vanch kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyayavasya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Anant Koti Vaishnavind ki jai, Sambal Bhaktavind ki jai. Dandot Pranam. See you all next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Hari Bo.
Hari Bol.
Hare
Thanks a lot,
Krishna.
Prabhu.